Hi, this is Skoggit. Hope everybody's doing well out there. I myself am doing pretty good. Today what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing a story time with Skoggit. I've had a lot of requests to do a story time. It's been a long time since I've done one and thought I'd go ahead and do one today. And today's story is called Greasy Hat. And something else what I want to let everybody know is that the wind is really howling outside. I'll tell you what, wind gusts here at Tornado Alley is getting up to about 50 miles an hour. Wow, dust everywhere, really bad day to be out. But anyway, it don't matter, I'm inside, I've got my Folgers. I'm going to go ahead and take a drink of my Folgers, got to have that before I do my story, and then we'll get on with the story here. Oh man, got to have that Folgers in the morning. This story is about whenever I was working with the sheriff's office. It was back in like the 1980s. Can't really remember what year. It was, I'm thinking probably 1984, 1985, somewhere around there. But anyway, I was walking down the hall of the sheriff's office, walking down the hall, and I ran into the sheriff. And the sheriff told me, he says, I need for you to do something for me today. And I told him, I said, yes sir. And he told me, I have people is going to be coming from out of town. They're coming from another county, and I need for you to take them for a tour of the facility. Take them for the tour of the entire inside of the department, take them for a tour for the jail, the outside, and everything. And he said they should be arriving about 1. And I told him, the sheriff, I said, I'll go ahead and take care of that. Well, also walking down the hall was one of the sergeants, and he overheard this conversation between me and the sheriff, asking me to do the tour. So anyway, I proceeded to walk down the hall, and the sergeant turned around, and I believe his name was John. I think his name was John. But anyway, he stopped me and he says, hey, I understand that you're going to do a tour today about 1 o'clock. And I said, yeah. I said, the sheriff asked me to do the tour, got people coming from another facility out of town, and he wants me to take them around. And he says, I'm going to go ahead and take care of that tour. And I told him, I said, you know, the sheriff asked me to do it. Well, he says, it don't matter, he says, who does it. He says, but I'm going to go ahead and be the one to do it. So I'm just letting you know that at 1 o'clock I'll be doing the tour, and you can go ahead and proceed with whatever work you needed to do through the day. So I thought, okay. Didn't argue with him. He was a sergeant. He was had rank, so I'll leave it at that. So anyway, I was kind of upset about it because I was looking forward to doing that tour and showing them around and everything. And so anyway, I come up with this idea. As I was walking down the hall, I ran into one of the trustees. Trustee is, if you're not familiar with what a trustee is, he's a inmate what gets privileges, but he does like work. We had trustees back then what worked in the garage, they worked at the courthouse, and worked on the grounds, and just went out and did their work. And something else, they were unsupervised, so they'd go out by themselves and stuff. They had their inmate uniform on and would be out there doing the job what they were assigned to do. They'd have to check in at certain times, because if they didn't check in, then we come looking for them, and it's not good for them. it didn't work out good for him because then there wouldn't be a trustee any longer. So anyway, went ahead and ran into him, and I told him, I said, hey, I need for you to do something for me. And he says, okay, what do you need? I said, go over to the garage and bring me some little bit on a paper towel, just bring me a little bit of black axle grease. He said, you want some black grease? I said, that's correct, black grease. When you get the black grease, bring it to me. So he went ahead and went across there and got the grease, brought it to me on a paper towel, and there was a little bit of grease there. So went in the office, and John always left his hat like on the file cabinet. So I went ahead and took his hat, and I thought, well, if he's going to do the tour, I really want to make his tour interesting. So I took his hat, which it was a straw hat, a Stetson straw hat, and the inside of the hat band is black. So what I did, took a little bit of that axle grease, that black grease, and I just went all the way around the front of the brim. Just real light. I didn't put a heavy grease job on it. Just a real light grease job. Just enough to get the job done. So I laid the hat back on the cabinet and just kicked back and waited for the magic to happen. Comes in about a little bit before 1, grabs his hat, puts it on his head, and he's going to do the tour. So I see him around there doing the tour, and I'm walking around the building. I'm doing whatever I was doing that day, and was just out and about in the building. And he comes back in from doing the tour, and he has like grease on his face, he has grease on his forehead, and he is madder than a wet hen in a hailstorm. And he comes up to me and he says, do you know anything about this grease on my hat? Because he said, look at me, I'm covered with grease. I told him, I said, now John, I don't know anything about that. I said, why would I mess? I'd never mess with your hat. I said, why would you even come and, well, because he was saying, because you're upset because you didn't do the tour and I did it. I said, no. I said, I mean, you're the sergeant. If you want to do the tour, that's fine. I have other work what I need to do. And I tell you, it was so funny. I had to laugh because he had that grease on his face, because I can imagine him out there giving that tour, and it's hot outside too. It was during the summer, and he has that hat on, and then he moves that hat a little bit, rubs his head, and and he's giving this tour, and all these people was watching him get all full of grease, and I just thought it was hilarious at the time. And he come in, it was just if you could saw how mad he was. It was just, he was ranting and raving. He was like asking everybody in there if they done that. And of course, I was the one what done it, but thought it was funny. Thought I'd share this little story with y'all, and it just really fun time back when I worked there. Played a little joke on somebody, not really any harm done. It didn't ruin his hat. He could wash it off, off his face, but it was just funny that he was giving the tour and just putting his makeup on. This is Skoggit. Appreciate all you viewers and subscribers out there. Hope you enjoyed this story. I'll have more coming, and I have be having more stories coming. Y'all continue to stay safe out there and take care.